Hi everybody, this is Buff Larkin from the Big Bang Podcast, here to do a little comic talk that's a little bit different this time. We are going to talk about the writer Scott Snyder, not the wrestler Scott Steiner, but actually the writer Scott Snyder, who the last couple weeks he just pushed out a couple of great books, and I thought I'd highlight them and just to say, hey, this is pretty darn good stuff. So let's start off with the one I really want to get to. It is, of course, the Batman Annual #1. I can't actually believe people are harping on this, you know, something, you take annuals and you think, oh, they're the setup for, you know, second tier artists, not the second coming, which apparently is what our good friend Jason Fabak is. It's holy smokes, it's like the second coming of Gary Frank, and that is the greatest compliment I could give anybody right now in the comic book industry, because his artwork is fantastic. He is a future bright star in the DC universe, and the story was fantastic. It was a little bit of DC with a little bit of Vertigo, and all meshed together into something very, very scary and very well. You know, it didn't matter if Batman only showed up in the last little bit. It was all part of the story that tells itself. Very well done. That's, of course, the annual. This past week, of course, I had two Scott Snyder books come out. Of course, Batman #10, which was the big reveal, at least for the most part, about this Court of Owls. The reason why I liked Batman, this whole thanks to the New 52, is for the simple fact that, yes, it's nice to see Batman, but it's also nice to learn about Gotham itself. He tells a little bit about the architecture, the background on some gangs, etc., etc. We're learning about Gotham the way Batman knows about Gotham, and I think that is what really is selling the point home for me. Excellent book. I really thoroughly enjoyed #10. And the fact is, you get to learn more about the story from the second part, the little hang-on story afterwards with Alfred. It's a nice compliment. It's well structured. He's thought this out ahead of time. It's very good. #10, very well recommended by me. And of course, since we're talking about Scott Snyder and we're talking about a little bit about Vertigo and a little bit about DC, let's talk about the book that I've thoroughly enjoyed since the very first issue, Swamp Thing. I love the way the story was told. I think that's the whole thing about Scott Snyder. He tells a very good story. And it's not the same old every single time. He actually told the story backwards into the present, then goes back to kind of loop it all in a nice circle. Very well done. I love the return of Arcane. I love the fact that Swamp Thing is dealing with the Parliament. I love the fact that it's, you know, some very good issue, very good 3 issues, and we still haven't talked about American Vampire, which again is another excellent book that came out this month. So that's great. So anyways, that's my comic talk. Scott Snyder threw out a whole bunch of good books this week. Check them out. They're very well recommended. Enjoy, everybody. And until next week, keep banging, everybody.